Welcome to the swing set. Climb on up, there is always a swing available. On Life on the Swing Set, the podcast, we explore ethically non-monogamous relationships, the pleasures and passions, the promise and pitfalls. We discuss all aspects of ethical non-monogamy in a fun, open, and welcoming fashion, with a gleam in our eye, a bounce in our step, our hands down your pants. Ooh, sorry, got ahead of myself. We may be biased. In fact, we most certainly are. But we don't sugarcoat, and each of us speaks honestly and earnestly about our thoughts, ideas, and experiences throughout our very own lives on the swing set. Thanks for swinging by.
Hi there, swing set fans. While we try to tweet while we talk, we find we're a little distracted by, talking. But since you aren't, you can tweet along with us while you listen at hashtag #SSPodcast. That's hashtag #SSPODCAST. You'll be helping us help you categorize all the wacky, out-of-context things that we say while we podcast. Thanks.
Last week's discussion about genitals was too good to leave as just a single episode, so we're back this week with part 2 of our genital spectacle. I'm Cooper, and tonight I have with me...
Hey everybody, it's Ginger.
Hey, it's Dylan, too big to fail Thomas.
You guys always make me fucking laugh before I get to say my name.
That's his thing.
It is.
That is his thing.
You just have to brace yourself.
Yeah.
Brace yourself and feel the G's.
Fuck you, Dylan. I'm Katie Mack.
Honestly, fuck you, Dylan. I'm Katie Mack. Might be the best thing that has ever been said on this podcast. That's a mic drop at the beginning of an episode.
It really is.
Yeah. We are talking about...
Penis.
Yes.
Did you guys play that game in school, too?
What? Okay, hold on. Stop
it's not
everything.
What it sounds like.
Uh-oh. What have we
Katie,
done?
what game did you play in school?
No, it's not like that at all. The penis game.
Yes,
somebody...
I want more information.
But you're going to be disappointed. I can tell already.
Well, I'm kind of unnerved at the moment, so really more information would probably help.
Okay, so if you're in some kind of public setting, like, say, school, when you're all, like, immature little shits,
yes,
somebody starts out just by saying penis. Just like, penis.
Yep.
And the next person has to say it more loudly than that. So it takes a minute to escalate, but eventually you've got a group of people who are all just trying to scream the word penis louder than the other. And the game usually stops when you get detention.
As most games do.
Yes. High school was weird.
So yes, we've spent the front half of the show talking about vulvas
And politics.
and enjoying them very much. Now we're going to spend the back half talking about penises and enjoy them very much, as I do. Because I'm an equal opportunity lover of genitals.
I just want to go on the record and say, you know what? I'm just going to can that. Go ahead, Cooper.
No, I'm curious now, Dylan.
Oh, shit. No. All right.
Are you going to go on the record and say you're not an equal? I mean, are you going to talk about how you wish you to be an equal opportunity lover of all genitals?
Well, I cycled through all that. And what it kind of came down to was I love my cock, and I like what other people's cocks do to people that I like. Okay. And someday there may end up being a cock in my life of some sort from somebody that I like very much. So I am not an equal opportunity lover.
You just have to find your hanagram, Dylan. It's not bisexuality. It's just one sexuality.
My hanagram?
A specific person.
This is my dick. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
So, Dylan, you love your cock.
I do.
You just said it, so I assumed. Why don't you talk about that? Did you ever have a moment when you didn't?
I had a lot of moments when I didn't, and a lot of it revolved around the fact that I am a grower. And so whenever I'd be naked around people, I would be really ashamed that, other people had cocks and I basically didn't have much of one. And it didn't really occur to me until much later that, well, for all the people that made fun of me when I was younger, and for all the times that I would be in locker rooms as an adult that I'd be all embarrassed, that if I did have, if I was presenting my cock around everybody else, it was because I had an erection, and that would say some different things about me. So being a grower and not having much of a cock, and knowing that I do have a very pleasant cock, and it does very many good things for very many people, really started to change the math around what I thought about my cock. But for a long time, I didn't even really touch it much. I mean, I didn't even masturbate till I was 17, which is kind of fucking crazy. But other than catching up for lost time, I've kind of learned to really
Have you made up for lost time? Did you spend like 8 years of masturbating somewhere to even out?
Well, actually, when I say making up for lost time, I've really only enjoyed masturbation for maybe a couple years. And so that's kind of saying something, because I've been a swinger I've been a swinger for 6 years now. And I really didn't enjoy playing with myself much. It was a functional thing. It was I don't know if you ladies know this, but sometimes guys, when they don't get off, it's a lot easier for them to get distracted by women. And it changes some of the decision making and makes it easier to make some less than optimal decisions. And so that, and it being easier to concentrate after I get off, means that I would just get off to get off. It was I'm going to do this, I'm going to get it over with. Yeah, okay, it feels okay, but it's really just, I need to get rid of this shit so that I'm fine. And getting to a place where it was actually really something that I enjoyed really only happened about 1.5 years ago, maybe 2. And it's because I started reading erotica. And erotica really got me into a place where I could actually sit and relax and enjoy touching myself in ways that usually only other people touch me, and really get some joy in that. But all in all, it took me a long time to really like the way my cock looks, like the way it feels. I mean, I'm uncircumcised too, so there was of course a thing about that going on too. But no, I like my cock. And like Katie said, there are none others like it. That's actually not what she said, but that's what I was thinking. So, yeah.
No, it's the whole speech from Full Metal Jacket. Like, I must master my cock like I must master my life.
Yeah.
Without me, my cock is useless. Without my cock, I am useless. I'm sorry. All right, I'll stop. You just cut that out.
Like I said, he leaves nothing behind.
No, and he's going to leave in me saying he can cut it.
Yeah, absolutely. That's you're getting a little taste of what I get to enjoy over here.
Just pouring another glass of wine now.
Well, Dylan, the circumcised, uncircumcised thing, have you encountered a lot of, I'm not going to say discrimination because that's weirdly grandiose for this, but have you felt judged or...
Yes.
You know what I'm asking.
Yes. No, okay. Absolutely. Most... Being a suburban guy in the suburbs of Chicago means that many of the people that I play with are white Protestant folk, and most of them are circumcised. And so I've been with quite a few women, maybe not quite a few. I've been with a significant amount of women that have never seen an uncircumcised cock, and they didn't really know what to do with it. And some of them, it's kind of scary. It's hard to try something new in the moment with somebody you've just met. And I mean, I admit I kind of look for a challenge sometimes in people that I'm with, but it also means there's a certain amount of fumbling around that happens and mistake making that happens. And especially in swinging, if you're meeting somebody just at a club and you want to have a good time, you kind of want to go with the thing that you're sure of. So I've been passed up because I'm uncircumcised, but not a lot, not often. And it's never been like I shame you because you're not cut, because my response to that would be, whatever, I feel 90% more than your husband does on his cock. So, bam. And then I do the whole, the quagmire thing. But I don't really do that. And nobody's ever really said that to me. But yeah, it is a thing. It doesn't happen often, but it occasionally happens. And it's easier to explore with somebody when you're in a situation that's a lot less pressure filled, like a home swinger party, like a date. You know, it's so it's a thing, not a huge thing.
Well, I mean,
thank you, Katie. You have never mind.
okay, so if I can speak to the circumcised, uncircumcised.
Yes, please speak to the circumcision debate, Katie.
Point for a minute. Dylan, I totally hear what you're talking about. The first time I came across an uncut cock in the wild, if you will, there was some element of surprise, or exactly like you said, just not knowing what to do, or not wanting to be too rough on it or too gentle. And I've, in that circumstance, I had to just say point blank, like, help me here. Like, tell me, like, feedback. What do you want? What don't you want? What works? What doesn't? Like, work with me here. And that helped a lot. But I don't know. I personally don't understand the big deal about it either way. Aside from, I don't know, somebody maybe having those initial insecurities or fears about, oh God, am I, I guess your feelings of like efficacy surrounding your like cocksmithing skills.
I've taught a few people how to play with my cock, and they've been better off. And then the future circumcised, uncircumcised cocks they've been with have been better off for it.
You're leaving the world a better place, Dylan.
I really am.
Really, what's happening?
Oh, absolutely.
I'm teaching vital trade skills to people.
Vital circumcised, because in the future there will be more uncircumcised cocks.
Yes,
absolutely.
There will.
Yeah.
Because people are finally realizing, religion. We're not going to cut off a part of our baby's genitals.
Yeah. And I made such a scrunchy face when you said that you had been like turned down because of that in itself. And that feels very much like if somebody turned me down based on some kind of aesthetic, like if somebody turned me down because I don't shave, that's a really easy, like, go fuck yourself for me.
Yeah, I've actually had the opposite experience when I'm very early on when we were very first getting started. Prof and I made friends with, I guess it was 3 other couples. So we were kind of there were 4 couples, and one of the guys was uncircumcised. And I remember having that experience. He and I had really great chemistry. And I just remember like having this sort of squee moment, like, oh my gosh, look at that. Like, he was just like, are you kidding me? Like, he had a really, I didn't do that, but it was close.
It's so adorable.
It was pretty close. I was pretty just like, oh my gosh. And I didn't do it in any way to give him an ego boost or to make him feel comfortable. I was just delighted. I was absolutely delighted. Okay.
Well, I didn't know if
I was delighted.
You were delighted. There was delight.
There was delight.
I'm glad that you didn't go into the full "oh my God, that's so cute" thing, because
I was just thinking that. Oh my God, that's what I was saying when I wasn't talking.
No, there was nothing like that. It was just one of those experiences for me where I was.
She pointed, covered her mouth with the other hand.
I did.
Jumped up and down a few times.
Oh, but look at it.
Kind of hugged myself back and forth. Yeah. Nothing.
Did you boop it? Did you give it
I was going somewhere different. I was just thinking that maybe Jen would put on a skirt and some pigtails and start, doing that little hug herself thing, and then
tell us about how she saw all the cheerleader vulvas. Really, that fits right in, Dylan. Fits right in.
Wow.
Oh, it would fit right in, Jen. Right about it. In fact, I would probably rise to that occasion. I think I might be rising to that occasion right now. It's a good picture in my head right now.
That escalated quickly.
Cheerleader outfit, Jen.
Oh,
Talking about experiences in the locker room.
Excuse me, I'm going to go pack that one for Mexico right now. I'll be back, you guys.
There are no boys around in the locker room. But we're so frustrated.
Oh my gosh, Dylan, you're making me blush. It takes a lot, and you're totally making me blush.
We're just going to have to do something about this together.
If you would like to hear the full version, the full audio experience
we won't
of
tell
Dylan
anyone.
pretending to be all the cheerleaders, that Ginger is going to see the vulvas, I would like you to write in vulva play at lifeontheswingset.com.
Oh.
And we will make sure that at least a 5-minute version of that bit of amazing that just happened there happens. Because honestly, I have never wanted to hear anything more than Ginger talking about this story by herself, than Dylan trying to be the all the cheerleaders.
I need it.
Story.
I need it
It's
in
amazing.
my life.
You need it
I'm
inside
totally
of you.
game. I'm
I
totally
love
game.
everything about this.
Oh my gosh.
What
That
will
would-
you all gather around while I tell the story of the frustrated cheerleaders?
Yes.
Dylan, I think you should do that for my birthday.
Hey, there you go. And now you have a reason, Dylan.
Out of all the things that I would do for your birthday, yes, I'll do that.
1,000 times yes.
Only because you asked very nicely.
And by asked, you mean I told you that I think you should.
Yes.
Kind of like asking, so where the fuck even were we?
Penis.
We were waiting for
were talking
Cooper
about
to talk about
Penis.
his
Yeah.
cock. Oh,
Well, Dylan, you spoke a lot about being in public situations with a soft cock and being self-conscious about it. And I relate to that because I also, I will fluctuate. I'm not always just the I like to call the turtle goes inside, the inside the shell. And that was a severe source of stress and nervousness when I started attending swinger parties where people would be naked in the common area.
Ah, yes.
Because post
Yes.
sexual experience, the turtle wanted to go inside the shell. And then you're walking around and, people, it's a swinger party. People size each other up. That's the way it is. And so I was extremely self-conscious about that. And honestly, I don't know what has changed. But you all saw, and Katie saw pictures, that last November I was on stage naked in Desire, also with a feather boa.
yes.
But that was not hiding my cock.
It was
And
not.
it has changed. And I think part of that change is I've learned to actually be okay with the idea that the pleasure I give is legitimate. The pleasure people tell me I give they're not lying to me to make me feel better, which has always been another source of tremendous body issues. That it's just like, no, it's okay. It's like, yeah, you're just saying that.
Oh my God, yes.
And so, also, I will be honest, when I measured and found out I needed magnums, that was a big boost in my confidence level right there. But I've never been unhappy with size. I'm just slightly above average. And that's awesome. And I'm happy with it, and I'm happy with what it does. And for the longest time, I was not. And really, I would say in the last 4 years, I have, like you ladies, made friends.
Yes.
So it's It's a cool thing. And as, as I have written about, I do enjoy sending dick pics to people who like them. And I've gotten good responses, so that is very encouraging.
I have kind of a dumb question well, I feel like it's a dumb question to ask you.
There are no dumb questions, only dumb people.
Okay. So I'll claim that.
I think that's worse.
I'm not calling Dylan dumb.
I feel like I know more about how women perceive cocks in general, and I know they're not just, one thing or one person. Okay, Cooper.
Yes.
How do you perceive other guys' cocks, and how do you get attracted to them? Like, what? I don't know. Explain this to me, because I've never
explained the bi thing to you.
Yes,
okay.
The thing is, like, I've even been around. I've sat around many a gay man explaining to me just why they love cock, and I'm like, I get this, and I've been around women that are like, this is why I love cock, and I get it, but I want to know, the bi thing. How talk to me.
That's interesting, and I'm not sure I will be able to satisfy you with my answer. It goes back to my comments at the beginning. How genitals are awesome, and touching genitals are awesome, and the variety inherent in them is awesome, and it's. It's funny. I'm not sure, because it's something that's so ingrained, I'm not sure I could tell you the difference. I prefer vulvas, but that doesn't mean that penises are lesser. And I have... You have stumped me, I think.
Ooh, I like this. Stay with it then. I still want to hear more, even though you're kind of stumped.
Well, here, let me go with this. So, because we're penis havers, odds are the first glimpse you have of another penis is sizing it up compared to yours.
Mm-hmm.
Dylan, would you say you've seen penises?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I've seen a dick in my day.
in his day.
I've seen a dick in my day, a dick in my wife, 2 dicks in my wife.
I've seen Dylan see a dick in his day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's number one.
I've seen a dick in Cooper.
Honestly, what it is for me is, and I wonder if it's the same for women who like to play with women, is I know what I like when my cock is played with. And so part of the appeal is getting to see if that thing that I like translates to another person. And if not, what can I tweak to make it translate? And then I can then apply that new methodology to my own equipment, which is kind of cool. And not something you can do in a general heterosexual interaction.
True. Totally true. Well, I can speak to that I
Yes.
feel like I did a bit of that at first. And then I learned from the professor some fun little tricks. And then I just have, I don't know. I don't want to say I've graduated from that, because that's not what I mean. That sounds awful. But I
got held back, Jen. I've got another year and then summer school.
Did you yell penis too loud?
I did. You know what? You get in big trouble.
Damn it.
Yelling
Katie.
it on the quad. Big trouble.
Coop, we'll just be in detention together. It'll be
That
fine.
sounds good. We can have a breakfast clubby and getting to know you and learning about ourselves.
Well, if Dylan and I are doing the cheerleader fantasy, I think you guys need to do the detention fantasy.
I'm on board with that, Katie.
Yeah, I promise not to be too Claire.
Not to completely derail Ginger,
I'm going to hold
God,
it.
I'm
I got
sorry.
it.
but I
got my
happen to
point.
know that Ginger is totally into Claire
Oh, gosh.
and has been since the moment she appeared on screen.
Yeah.
I mean, Claire's kind of hot.
Oh my gosh. It's one of those, like, it's the bi girl moment. Like, do I want to be her because she's so cool, or do I want to do her? Okay, now I understand. But yes.
That feels a lot like a both and.
Yeah.
I'm
Oh,
sorry,
yeah.
it just-
Well, that's fair. That's totally fair. And of course, being
Maybe I want to like fuck her and then become her.
Wow.
wow. I'm not so sure. I don't know, but I
That's fine. I can be on my own. on that
okay,
one.
okay. Well, I think I just would have to understand more. But in that case, no,
Dylan, God, please cut something.
never.
Well, not my
Never.
cock.
Oh, that's why he
But I
doesn't
won't
edit, because
cut
he's
that.
uncut. That's brilliant, Dylan.
Oh, that was so
The
priceless.
swing set, bigger, longer, and uncut.
Totally.
Yes. So my vast Claire and Molly Ringwald crush aside,
Yes.
which it's hard to put aside, I'll go back to my point in saying your strategy about when you have the particular equipment and you want to pleasure the same equipment. In that idea of, I know what feels good for me, so I'm going to do that to this person. I definitely did a lot of that. And then like I said, I feel like I kind of moved beyond that and trusted my ability as a lover to kind of be a better assessor of the cues, as Prof talks beautifully about, but just how you watch the body language and how you watch, you listen for someone's sounds and those things. So I feel like before I was very much in my head, and I was like, oh, I would like this, so I do that. I would like this, so I would do that. And versus now, I think I trust myself a lot more, and so I do less of that.
It's because you have more time in the buy. You've
More
racked
time
up,
in the-
You've racked up more time,
Yeah, I would
more
say
hours.
I would say
More buy
Yeah,
time.
more buy time. There you go.
Yeah, I think you're right. Maybe. Yeah.
And you had your partners sign off on the timesheet too, so that's good. I mean, my buy time is fairly limited. It's buy men are still not all over the place,
Right.
and it's not a priority for a lot of the buy men there are. It's a thing that can be a seasoning, but it's not I'm looking for this, and it just, I'm not generalizing about bi men. I'm generalizing about the bi men I happen to know.
Got it.
Hey, Dylan, can I ask you a question?
Yes, you can.
So what exactly was your question going into this?
Oh, I was trying to understand how Cooper / bi men. Yes, Jen, I was asking him to bi-splain how
Cooper's
bi men.
opinions are not necessarily those of the bi male population.
Yeah, I get that. Where the
Indeed.
swing's at.
But your story is valid,
I just wanted to
so-
know how he perceived and or appreciated and or didn't appreciate other people's cocks.
Okay,
And-
see, it's not that I wasn't listening to you. It's not that I was just trying to be
Sure.
like that bitch. In this conversation, I wanted to try and speak to your question a little bit, but I needed to get back to like the heart
Okay.
of what it actually was.
The beating heart.
Throbbing, Dylan.
Thank you, Cooper.
Throbbing. So are you going to speak to it?
Well, I mean, if we're talking specifically about penises and bi men, then there's not a whole lot for me to speak to. I can speak for me and my experience in appreciating genitals that are similar to mine.
Sure.
But if we're just talking cocks, I got nothing for you.
Let me hop on the Katie train for a moment.
Yes, hop on the
Hey there.
hop on
Hi.
the Katie train.
How you doing?
Hey, girl. You got wheels from here to... So, also those pistons. So...
Okay.
So yeah, what Cooper said made a lot of sense to me, but you sounded like maybe you have a unique perspective on, I guess, attraction to cocks that I haven't heard before. So, what is
God,
it
that
about?
sounds like a lot of pressure.
Yeah. Well,
Yes,
I
what do
mean,
you like about cocks?
Ooh. I can't wait to hear the answer.
I like gingers. Ooh, too.
I can't wait to hear the answer. I'm so excited.
I am about to break some cis dude hearts here. I personally get more excited about vulvas than cocks.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, cocks are cool. Too.
Way to throw cocks a bone, Katie. No, they're cool also. I'm not saying I don't like them.
No, I can throw a bone.
Yeah,
like,
good.
listen,
I'm glad we're all on the same page.
There are absolutely things to like and appreciate about cocks. But as someone who falls more on the bi end of things, and within that spectrum, is someone who gets more excited about genitals that are more similar to mine, I just mean that, like, if you want something bi-splaned, I got you. But
well, actually, no. That's really good. Tell me about cocks, but then tell me about why pussies really fascinate you. I'm interested.
Okay, now see, you're also catching me in the middle of unpacking a lot of my own personal attractions and feelings and where they come from.
Well, where better to unpack them than in front of our thousands of listeners?
No, there are only 10. Shut up.
Except for those 10 that we usually talk about.
I think, yes, exactly. Katie, just so you're aware, I probably spent 100 episodes way back when pretending no one listened. So I'm just gonna say you can go there. You can just be like, hey, it's just us four. We're just here. We're just unpack it, Katie. Go for it.
Okay. I can unpack. So I've been thinking a lot lately about the idea of conditioned attraction versus, authentic attraction. And growing up for me, it was always assumed that I was straight. I'd be a kid and people would talk about who's the cutest boy in school, which boy do you like, which boy do you have a crush on. So there's a conditioning there of you are attracted to men. And I've been doing a lot of my own little soul searching in terms of how much of my attraction to men is actually authentic and comes from within me, or how much of that comes from what I have been taught I should be attracted to. And cocks are really an extension of that for me. That, yes, of course, cocks are fun and they're cool, and yeah, that's awesome. I mean, they also come on you or in you or whatever, which I could take or leave, but I love you all. I do so much. But so for me, cocks, yes, there are things to like and enjoy about cocks. I'm totally not anti-cock by any stretch. They're fantastic. They're fun. They look cool. They're great. I'm not someone who gets sexually excited by a cock itself or seeing one, which has made my relationships dicey on the dick pic front. But does any of this make sense?
Yeah.
No, that actually makes yes, it does.
Don't worry, no one thinks you're anti-cock, so you don't have to sell that one anymore.
Well, it tells me a lot about how you're attracted to guys if you're not specifically attracted. I'm not saying you're not, but if you're not specifically targeting their cock in the interaction or in the relationship that you're in. So, no, that says a lot. Thank you for answering my question.
You're welcome. I don't know if I actually did, but cool.
No, okay, listen, like, I know you're in the middle of kind of unpacking your own attraction right now. And I kind of I'm never going to finish doing it, but I really figured out most of my attraction. And I had this interesting conversation with somebody the other day about trans women. And bear with me for just a moment, because we were talking about the difference between people that are attracted to trans women because they're passable, and people that are attracted to trans women because there are trans women that present as femme. And there's it's kind of a fine. It's not such a fine line functionally, because if you're talking about a trans woman as being passable, you're saying they're not a real woman unless they're passable. Like, they don't meet your standards for being a woman, so they aren't a woman until you see them that way, and then they are. If you're talking about a trans woman as femme, it's because there are plenty of women out there that are not femme presenting. And this particular woman just happens to be femme or not be femme. And so I'm attracted to mostly femme presenting women. And there are a few that aren't, that I've been attracted to over the years, but by and large, I like women, but not women that look like women. And I'm using the language that other people have used before. I like femme women, and it's just what I'm naturally attracted to. And so in this discussion where we ended up talking about specifically trans women, I have been attracted to trans women and not had a connection, or I've been attracted to trans women that haven't been attracted to me, and I've had trans women attracted to me that I haven't been attracted to. And as revolutionary as this sounds, my attraction to trans women is exactly the same as my attraction to any other person out there. If they look femme, mostly in the face, a little less concerned about the body, then I'm generally attracted to them. And sliding along the, hey, I had all this angst about not being bi, it does give me hope that one day there will be a guy out there that is, I guess, femmy enough to have me really be attracted to them. And maybe something will happen. I just don't see a lot of guys that look femme in the face, if that makes sense. So that's like 9 months of thought into that whole ball of, that whole ball of attraction that I just recently expressed with somebody. So that you're unpacking all that stuff is not just, I mean, it's cool to me, but it's important because feeling shit and not knowing why you feel it, or being attracted to people or not attracted to people and not knowing why, it drove me insane. I can only imagine that you feel some level of, maybe I shouldn't use insane, but it must make you confused sometimes. And that's probably why you're thinking about it. So I get that. And I think it's really cool that you're thinking about these things. And not everybody does. People just stumble through life being attracted to or not being attracted to people and making decisions about being with people that they may not be attracted to. And it's just, it's weird. I like being with people that have had these thought experiments and work this stuff out, Yeah,
I mean, it's definitely frustrating and confusing to some degree. I also have somewhat of a luxury of being I haven't found a word that I super duper like, but essentially a bi or pan female, where I don't get challenged or asked to justify or quantify my attraction. Coop, I don't know what your experience has been, but I know for me, if I say I'm bi, I get a lot of like, oh, okay, I don't ask, or I don't get asked if I'm more attracted to men or more attracted to women. I don't get asked like, okay, but like, who do you want to be with? It's just kind of I think that female bisexuality is generally more
It has been mainstream a lot longer than male bisexuality.
Yeah.
And weirdly, male bisexuality gets challenged a whole lot more than female bisexuality, which I'm not sure why that is. And it's not the challenge that we often see with female bisexuality, which is more the frustration aspect of it. When people have a problem with female bisexuality, it's often, well, one day she's going to choose and then maybe she'll leave me in the dust. But with male bisexuality, the challenge always has seemed to be, that's not a thing. And I'm really unclear about what that's about.
Well, I mean, I have theories.
I have theories too.
What are yours?
Tell me,
Cooper.
Mine are unpalatable. I mean, what I, rather than speak to that, not to shut you down, Katie.
No, that's fine.
But I feel like my theories would be unpopular. So rather than speak to that, I do want to say that, Dylan, your comments about being open to one day finding a person that pings your radar, and regardless of their genitals, you are open. And I think that's fantastic. And it made me really think about the first instance of my radar being pinged, which happened in college in a drama class. And I don't want to be more cliche than that. But there was a fairly androgynous gothy boy who looked like he stepped out of a Tim Burton movie. And that was my first weird moment of utter confusion over why I was attracted to this person. And naturally, because I was not sex positive and because our culture was even more unsex positive back then, it instead of being a curiosity that I could explore because I was in fucking college, it became, well, geez, maybe I'm completely wrong about everything I've thought about my sexuality for my entire life. And so rather than be open to it and actually converse with this guy who seemed to like me a lot, whether it was friendliness or other, I severely repressed it and completely lost touch within the month after school ended. And so it's a regret, but it's a regret more from the fact that I was not open for the longest time. And that may be a topic for another show, but it was really an interesting jaunt down the memory hole from your comments.
I'm glad you had a pleasant jaunt.
Pleasant jaunt.
Through your memory hole.
Yeah.
Wow.
We should take a commercial break, I think, after that. So we're going to take that break, and when we come back, we're going to have more stuff to talk to about.
I'm just going to talk to this penis that's right in front of my face. I'm talking to you right now, penis. You wait, because we're going to go to commercial. Okay,
this is
good.
the other playlist.
We're good.
Dylan's one-man show, Conversations with My Penis.
Hey, that's on the Trello. What is it called? What's its name?
On our Trello is Dylan's one-man show, Conversations with My Penis?
No, is the question, do you have a name for it?
Oh.
Just generally the cliche, if we're talking about genitals.
Well, we'll see if Dylan's penis that he has conversations with has a name when we come back. Hey all, Cooper here to tell you the exciting news that my best-selling book, My Life on the Swing Set, Adventures in Swinging and Polyamory, is now available on Audible. As you may know, if you sign up for Audible now, you can get your first month and first audiobook free. So why not make it mine? Go to audible.mylotss.com and get 8 hours of newly produced audio content now. If you crave other methods of book consumption, you can purchase the DRM-free ebook or paperback, as well as the audiobook direct from me at mylifeontheswingset.com. You know you'd rather hear than read about my epic prostate orgasm. Why not do it now? When it comes to online dating, we here at the Swing Set believe that Cassidy is the best one out there. It looks great, it's intuitive and easy to use, and it's simply full of potential sexy friends. Still the fastest growing online swinger dating site in the world, Cassidy has been our go-to site for the last 3 years. If you sign up using our link at lifeontheswingset.com/KASIDIE, you'll get some free time to explore the site. And you can decide for yourself if Cassidy is the site for you. Hope to see you there at Cassidy.com. Tonight on the swing...
Tonight on the swing set?
Swing set. Swing. Tonight on the Swing Set, we are talking about how body positivity wins the day. That should have been said like Connery.
Do it. Just
Tonight on the Swing Set, we are talking about how body positivity wins the day.
We at the Swing Set believe that being risk-aware and practicing safer sex makes our lifestyle exponentially better. With that in mind, we're partnering with Lucky Bloke, global condom experts and the best online source for condoms and lube, to say no to mediocre condoms and bring the most pleasurable, safer sex directly to our listeners. Go to swingsetcondoms.com to see a specially curated selection of condoms, lubes, and assortments to reintroduce variety and excitement into the protection portion of your playtime. You should especially take note of the deluxe sampler put together by us at the Swing Set for your party and date night kit. Making your condom purchase here supports both us at the Swing Set and the wonderful purveyors of safer sex, the Lucky Bloke. swingsetcondoms.com.
It's Prof. I'm here with Ginger, and we have some big news to share, Ginger.
We do. We're going to Desire. Again.
Yes, we are. April 2016. From the 16th through the 21st, we are going to do a 5-day bit of awesomeness.
Absolutely. It's a hold me over. If you can't make it in November, we'd love to host you in April with JV and Shara from Ending the Sexual Dark Age.
And we're going to have a chill time. Not quite as many activities as our normal November trip, but still lots of awesome Desire fun for sure. So, Ginger, how do people get on this awesome trip with us?
They should definitely email me at ginger@lifeontheswingset.com and we'll get you in touch with Jim from Shar Travel. We'd love to see you there. Join us.
Yay! Do it.
Okay, welcome back to Life on the Swing Set, the podcast. I believe there was some promise of Dylan's genitals names. Names, maybe. You know, he might name each individual testicle. I don't know.
Like Austin Powers, didn't he do that?
Did
This
he?
one's Austin, this one's Powers. Well, no, he talked about his twig and berries, his wedding tackle.
That's right. Dylan.
Not to put you on the spot or anything.
No, I'm putting you on the spot. Do you see my face? Do you see the face I'm making you? I know you can't see it, but you can see it in your mind.
It's totally in my mind. You are in my mind right now. You're inside me, and I you know how much I hate to disappoint people, and in this case, this one time, I'm gonna have to disappoint because I don't have a name for my penis. I don't have a name for my balls. I don't have a name for any particular part of my body, and I wish I did because I would love to be. I'd love to spout something intelligent about why I named my penis something interesting because I had a long story, but I just don't. I don't have a name for it.
Mr. Bigglesworth? Can we keep it with Austin Powers?
Well,
that's a good name for a penis, too.
I do like
and then
the
you
shade.
can yell, look what you did to Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yes. All right. For the purposes of this podcast, I claim the name Mr. Bigglesworth.
Yes.
Just this podcast. Just episode 223.
Yes. This is 224, by the way, Dylan.
224. Oh, God damn it.
223 for, math is hard. Cooper.
I don't have a name for my genitals, but if you would like to name them, Katie, you are welcome to.
Oh, she has bought the naming rights.
She has bought the naming rights.
I don't have like a magic wand. I'm not christening all
This
of
is
you.
like-
You stand before me in my infinite wisdom, and I dub thee.
We should open it up to our listeners. Like you can name a star, and then you get a picture with the region.
Well, I have
pay
this
to name that
visual.
star. For $50, you can name my vulva whatever you want.
I have this visual.
Listeners,
Oh,
for
boy.
$50, you can name Katie's vulva whatever you want.
Well,
That
quite an offer.
is a hell of a deal.
See, Dylan, there's this button in Audacity or iTunes, whichever, where you click it, and then whatever you had just heard goes away.
Yeah, that's called delete, and we don't like it when that happens.
Yeah, I did that for episode 221. Oops.
So for that, it's Katie's genitals at lifeontheswingset.com. That's the email you would email to.
Oh my God, I love hate you. Ginger, you were saying something.
I'm still back at the whole giving names to the gentlemen of the swing set's penises, and then you were talking about it, and I had that visual in my head when they name a ship and they like take a bottle of champagne and kick it over the bow, and I was like,
smash a bottle over
clearly would have to have some sort
A christening ceremony?
Right. We'd have to have some sort of other scenario, because that one just would be just gruesome.
I don't know. Fleshlight. Don't hit it. Use it.
Okay.
So you get a name and jerked off?
Yeah.
Wait, no, I got this. Okay. So, if there were, say, the person that named my cock would stand to my side, I would be standing, and a willing recipient of my cock and other things that come out of my cock would be kneeling down and jerking me off. And right as I was about to come, I would take my penis out of her hand or mouth, and again, as long as she's willing, I would smack the side of her face with it and come at that exact moment. And then that person that named the cock would be filming this in, let's say, 300 frames a second. And we would attach the wine bottle breaking audio to that. And we would then extend the time out to real time, 30 frames a second or so. And then I would be coming in slow motion, just like, when you slam the wine against a ship and it would, it happens in slow motion and the, boat goes and everything like that. So I got plans is what I'm saying.
I refuse to believe for 1 second that this is the first time you've thought about any of that.
Yeah,
It's the first time I put it all together in a single thought.
There was a lot of planning that went into that scenario.
It all just happened at once.
Yes.
Wow.
So, Katie, would you like to name my cock so you can film it? Apparently not. All right, we're good.
You're putting her on the spot,
Wait,
Dylan.
she already did, didn't she?
Yeah,
Ginger.
Biggles work.
Ginger.
So does that
Katie,
mean
do
you're the
you
willing
see how he
recipient of my
backed
cock,
you
Ginger?
into that scenario?
Yeah.
He backed
And
you
you
right
know
into
what?
that scenario.
I'm playing the long game. The long game.
Dylan's getting in the car right now, and he's just going to drive east until he can have his ceremony.
Yeah, drive until you hit a beach and let me know what boardwalk you're on.
Okay. If I end up in Jersey, it's a problem, though.
Okay, so ladies,
Okay.
Yes.
do your genitals have names? Or is that just something that guys do? Besides flower. But it's a flower, it's not flower like the skunk and Bambi.
From Bambi.
That would be awful. That would be
Flower.
Oh. Wow. Well, I'll tell you, the reason I asked, because I'm the one who's guilty of putting this topic on the Trello board, is because it seems like every comedy show you go to that has any kind of comedian worth his money makes some sort of cock naming joke. And I was recently in that scenario where I was at a comedy show and the comedian on stage made a cock naming joke. So, and he actually called some guy out in the audience, like, well, what's your name for it? And he, of course, didn't own up to having a name for it. Now I'm realizing he may have just not had a name for it, which is perfectly legit. That's fine. But the long way of saying, I don't either. I don't have any kind of name. And I'm fine to glom on to the cock naming and decide that I want to name my pussy, but I don't, other than Flower, I think. I mean, that's the closest thing to a nickname she's got. So
I don't actually know that I've ever had a conversation with anyone who has named their genitals.
So maybe it's just a comedian thing. Maybe just comedians name their genitals, and then they think the rest of us do, and they make a bit about it, and then we all think.
And it's okay if they're offensive because they're comedians.
Right.
Oh, well, okay. Now, I hear the ice cracking beneath you.
Yeah,
by
back
the
off,
second.
Cooper. Back off, Cooper.
If I can just weigh in on the vulva naming, I I don't have a specific name, but you guys are going to have to just go with me on this one for a second.
We are with you.
Thank you. I've always thought that if I were to name it, I would need a first name and last name, and they would both have to have 5 letters, so I could sing the Oscar Mayer song.
I'm sorry, I totally support that. Yeah, the Oscar Mayer
like, my baloney has a first name. I want to be able to sing like my vagina has a first name. It's Katie, or like whatever like my vagina's name actually was. Like there's that jingle, and if my vulva were to have a name, I would want it to conform to jingle cadence so I could sing about it.
So,
okay,
wow,
I'm in no way judging that. I promise.
If this was ever a thing, I would lay somebody down. I'm not saying you, because you don't have to be the person all the time. You don't have to be the recipient of my passion every time. But yeah, don't worry, that's not Spanish. But
I'm just curious where the accent was in that word.
But I would probably do all the things that, seem particularly relatively appropriate to turn someone on. And then at the very end, I would just instead, after as many orgasms as that person can take, I would probably start stroking the vulva and just say, I'd start singing the song, and your vagina has a first name, and then just do that whole thing. And then I would get the strangest look, and then I would get arrested because they would get freaked out. But I could totally see that happening. Not if they knew
about the song already. We have to...
Okay, I would have to tell
Good story, man.
Yeah. Well, the problem is I was actually about to direct it at Katie, but she's already taken the brunt of my cock and or pussy related shenanigans tonight. I've really pounded that thing, so I didn't want to direct it all at her, and that's why it made it a little weird. So, sorry.
So instead you just got arrested.
It's funny because even in fantasy world, Dylan accepts the consequences for his actions. Let's slide on by this subject a little bit. We've lubed up and talk about body hair again. We brought it up a bit at the beginning of last week's episode. Let's talk about it a bit more here, because I think if there is one thing that causes more stress about fitting in, not fitting in, being attractive, not being attractive about our genitals, it would have to be how we groom them. Or don't. Who would like to weigh in on that?
Well, I'll start by...
It's really like who would want to weigh in first. That seems like the bigger...
Well, Ginger already
I'll weigh in
in
a more culturally generic sort of way. I'm happy to weigh in about my particular way I enjoy styling my pubic hair. Happy to talk about it.
You already did that last week.
Oh, so I did.
This is more a societal. This is more the theoretical vulva, not the literal vulva.
Oh, the theoretical vulva. I'm on it. Okay.
And because we're speaking in that fashion, you can also speak to the theoretical penis grooming.
Okay. Awesome.
Theoretical penis grooming.
Theoretical penis grooming.
Theoretical penis grooming is a band name.
Somebody needs to tweet that. Okay. So what I was going to say is I just personally find it as a consumer of porn and looking at a lot of images. Prof and I have a Tumblr, and we enjoy it, and we share images back and forth together that we enjoy a lot. And a couple of the Tumblrs we follow are like vintage porn, and there was like zero grooming, none. Sorry, it was just au naturel, and then we grew into this sort of quasi grooming, and then it turned into super grooming. We went to super grooming where we were like shaping, it was the landing strip and the circles and the, all kinds of things happening with the pubic hair. And now I feel like...
I like to imagine that Prof had a cardboard shaper cutout that he would put over the hair area he would like to keep and shave around it. And maybe if I don't like to believe he'd have that, I just like to think about him doing it because I find it very amusing.
Okay, well that's fair. That's totally fair. Like I could see it. I mean,
And now we can all find it very amusing.
Indeed. And so just the long way around all of this pubic hair topic
Shenanigans, you can say it.
Yes, these crazy pubic hair shenanigans is, I find it interesting that it's even a thing, that in our culture that is so overwhelmingly sex negative, we can have now these articles about how people are choosing to groom their pubic hair. Like, it's just fascinating, in women's magazine. And this is for years and years. And I wonder where it came from. And I go back to Katie mentioning porn. I wonder if the people consuming more porn made them think, oh, I need to groom my pubic hair too, or not. I'm just curious, why did people decide that they needed to do that?
In every academic look at that, the rise of bald vulvas in porn led to the rise of bald vulvas in the public space.
Got it. Okay, that
But
that
where
makes
did
sense.
the demand come from? Because why would you bother having bald vulvas in porn if there was no demand for it? So where did that demand come
I
from?
imagine to be distinct, remember, we're talking about the days of SD video.
Yeah, so you can't see any of the detail, and you want to make it clear. Oh, all right. I get that.
I mean, this is just theoretical, but it was definitely, you can see the results of stylistically porn sex translating to general public in the mores, in the styles of sex, in the, it's really the horrible things that are happening to the youth of America.
Wow.
The youth of the nation.
The youths.
Oh God, that's an awful song.
Yeah, it is.
Sorry. Anyway, pubes. Okay.
Yes, Katie. How do you feel about pubes?
Better than I used to. For a long time, I would just shave completely, entirely, all the time. Like, damn the itch and burn and like weird next day waddle. I just did that all the time.
Weird next day waddle. Ooh, man.
You know what I'm talking about. So, an ex of mine one day finally looked at me and was like, just so you know, like, I don't care. Like, if that's what you want to do, go for it. But if you're doing that because you think it's what I want, like, I'm fine with whatever. So then I finally had permission to grow it out, which I felt like I needed at the time. And once I started doing that, I never went back to shaving it completely. I'll let it fly if I'm feeling like I don't care. If it gets unruly, I'll trim it down. But that's really like about the extent of it. I just largely stopped giving a shit.
Well, I had the situation where I never really concerned myself with it for the longest time because none of my partners ever concerned themselves with it. Mm-hmm. And then swinging started, and I was specifically told if you want it licked, it should be shaved.
Oh.
So I did that religiously for 2 years, maybe. And my body rejected that idea with some horrific ingrown hairs that I, of course, thought were any number of sexually transmitted infections.
I remember most
of
of those conversations, Coop.
Yes, Ginger had to deal with a lot of that.
Yeah, that's all right.
Then.
That's why I'm here.
And part of it was the realization that that none of the playmates who mattered cared, and the playmates who were, I'm just going to go ahead and say douchey about it like that, were not worth spending a lot of time with. I mean, preferences are just fine, as we talked about at the start of the last show. Preferences are fine, but no one should be made to feel bad for however they choose to keep themselves groomed.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been thrilled to be more and more a part of the queer community, because it seems like, to generalize, the queer community has run out of fucks to give.
Oh, yeah.
And because of that, have allowed themselves to just be who they are or who they actually want to be, and stop worrying so much about what everybody else wants. And I think, I know a number of people who vastly prefer having a bare vulva, or having, I know I loved having shaved balls. I hated doing it, but I loved how it felt.
Well, and just to speak to that too, Coop, I think you bring up a really important point that when it comes to, there's the aesthetic of, what it looks like as you observe it. And then there's the experience of it. And, Prof and I have had this discussion often, because he's very much like, he doesn't care how I choose to groom myself, but it does for me. I will sometimes just do whatever, just very little grooming just to keep myself happy. But then how things feel when we are enjoying each other in various ways, it just doesn't feel the same. And so I think there is an angle of thinking about how it feels, like whether how it feels to you and how you want to enjoy it, or how your partner wants to enjoy it. And so it's not just about how it looks or a preference, but there is something to be said for how it feels to touch or rub or, have genital friction when there's hair there and when there's not. And so
Genital friction.
Friction.
There's a band name.
Oh, yeah. So, just to acknowledge that. So, it's not just about vanity. It's not just about how it looks. It's not just about presenting or making a statement with, full bush or pit hair or anything like that. It's about, sometimes, for some people, it's about, I keep my balls smooth because I like it when my balls feel smooth.
Oh, absolutely. And that's really what I was saying, is once you get over worrying about specifically what other people are desiring you to ascribe to, then you can actually just do what you like. And that's the best part, is making it the way you like it. Because then you feel sexier. No matter what, if you are comfortable in your skin, you feel sexier to other people, which in turn gives you more confidence, which makes you sexier to other people. So quit telling people to do things with their genitals, unless it's, use them with you.
Well,
and don't ask, for
even
fuck's sake.
Hey, I kind of feel about my pubes the same way I feel about my hair. It's like, I don't want to be bald. Not all the time, and I don't want it to be unruly either. I just want it to be nice and manageable, presentable. But that's relative to me, so I don't have, too many fucks to give about it, as long as nobody's then telling me what to do. So yeah.
Well, and I can see that about you, Dylan, because you are such a well-groomed man. In that way, you like to do.
He does enjoy the grooming.
I feel like that's.
I like my body scaper.
Yeah, I think that's awesome, and the fact that you don't have it's not the same way all the time. It's like you just go with the flow with where you are, with what you want to do, and liken it to, hair on your head, hair on your face. Like, I think that's cool. I just think that's cool to be able to let it be part of your expression in that way. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thank you.
Wow. I'm really just bringing up the rear on a lot of the conversations there today.
Are you genitaled out, Ginger? Is that what you are right now?
No, I'd say no. Not necessarily.
Okay, just pubed out.
I might be pubed out. Might be pubed out at this point. If I had to make a judgment.
Let's slide into one of the issues with public stigma about genitals, and that is the desperation to fix problems that don't necessarily exist.
Yeah. Like, remember when I was talking about that whole, I'm with somebody and I almost have to convince them that they're, worthy of attention and pleasure and stuff like that? Yeah. Whenever I hear about somebody talking about wanting to get a labiaplasty, it hits me fucking hard, because I'm completely on board with people wanting to modify their bodies pretty much any way they want. But I feel like labiaplasty is a little different, and I'm having a hard time resolving those two things in my head, other than you're kind of taking something away for like public shaming and body image reasons, which are absolutely negative things. Whereas body modification, you're making a change, an educated change based on how you want to look, based on like a preference instead of what everybody else in the world thinks. And that's the only kind of thing I can come up with when I try to resolve those two thoughts in my head. And I was wondering if anybody else had a way of expressing that in a way that didn't seem disjointed and jumbled and totally Dylan-like, because
whenever I hear, and Katie, I don't know if you're here with me in this, but whenever I hear labiaplasty, I get this inherent, like just this like innate sort of want to curl up in a ball and make it all stop, because the idea of that, I can't wrap my head around it just from the experience of it. So I have a hard time judging people's motives for changing their bodies. And, I'm really supportive of people having their bodies look the way they want, regardless of whether I would do it to myself or not. But just the idea of the experience of opting into that kind of surgery just seems so extreme from a suffering perspective. So suffering for an aesthetic. And I would say, labiaplasty is one example of where people suffer for an aesthetic, but it seems extreme.
Well, I mean, it seems extreme because, quite frankly, it is. This isn't just, I want to make you. We're not talking about like vajazzling. We're not talking about like, just throwing some fucking glitter on it and going about your day. This is a big deal. And I feel, Dylan, similarly. But my feelings usually, I feel the same way about labiaplasty as I do most other cosmetic or, plastic surgery, but in a more extreme way. I have those same feelings of like, whatever surgeries you want to have for your body to make it look the way you do, I support you. But to be candid, I do still have that moment of like, but are you doing this for you? Is this really what you want? Do you think that you need to be doing this? Are you excited about this? Or, I have those feelings, but then also having some guilt about it's not my place to feel any of those things. But there is an extreme element to it. I mean, in my day-to-day, I work in a hospital, and I work with a doctor once who like literally pulled up a website of one of his other doctor friends that did that. And there were just all of these, like the way you would see like before and after pictures on like, some fucking weight loss infomercial, all of these before and after pictures of women's vulvas and what they looked like before and what they looked like now. And what struck me about it was that in all of the before pictures, you had such a varied spectrum of vulvas. Some of them made the winky face or the tongue sticking out. Some of them were all like tiny and little. Some of them were really like, in your face. Like there's just this entire,
the amazing
realm.
breadth and variety of humans.
Yes. Yeah. And seeing that, and then one by one looking at those pictures and seeing them all turned into as close as could be made into one aesthetic. And that was the thing that made me sad.
Yeah.
If you want your tits to be bigger or smaller, you have the right to do that. And I support you. If you want to make alterations to your body in any way, go for it. But the thing about labiaplasty that seems different is that there seems to only be one aesthetic that everyone's trying to achieve. And that's the thing that makes me wary of it.
I agree.
That's a really nice way of saying that. Thank you. That really clarifies things for me.
Thank you.
And the funny thing is, there really isn't a legitimate penis enlargement thing. You know,
legitimate penis.
There isn't.
You just made me think of
a band name, legitimate penis enlargement thing.
No, one Swedish-made penis enlarger. Sort of thing is my bag, baby.
It's funny though that there's a huge industry about making your cock bigger that functionally is all about it's snake oil. Mm-hmm. They may as well say, rub this snake oil on your cock and it will get bigger for all the good it's going to do for you.
Well, if you rub snake oil on your cock, it will probably make it bigger.
Well, it will get.
There's some dude Googling right now, like, will snake oil snake oil make it bigger?
Rubbing anything on your cock might make it temporarily bigger. But also thinking really hard about certain things might also make it temporarily bigger. At a certain point, there's this is awesome. And this is something that a lot of people don't talk about. Weight loss makes your cock bigger.
Yes, it does.
And here's why. Because your cock is actually inside your body for a good portion of it. So as you lose the exterior body, I call it my cod piece. As I work down the size of my cod piece, my cock is getting visibly bigger. And if there was ever a reason to lose weight, I think that might be the best. Visibly bigger. For free.
Yeah, but Coop, societally, that's going to translate to dudes just buying weight loss pills instead of.
Well, the weight loss pills might actually do something. I mean, they'll probably make you shit a lot. Because that seems to be what weight loss pills
Saved by the Bell.
So we're going to have a very special episode of Life on the Swing Set where we talk you all out of using weight loss pills because we're singing I'm So Excited and dancing till we cry.
It's Cooper's second Mea Culpa episode. Really. I'm sorry I recommended everybody lose weight because... Listen, that's a thing.
It's totally a thing.
I have been bigger in various parts of my life, and my cock is visibly larger and more exposed. That's the crazy thing, okay? So, as a big guy, it is easier to masturbate and stroke the full length of my penis, or have somebody's hand around my cock and get the full length of the penis, than it is to get the full length of my penis inside of somebody when I'm larger. Now that I've been losing significant amounts of weight, / pudge in that area, I just get more pleasure per square inch now. So if we want to call it PPSI, Dick PSI or PPSI, whatever you want to call it. Dick PSI actually sounds better. So DPSI, we'll call it DPSI. But
I like everything about this.
I'm liking DPSI here, but.
It sounds like dick per square inch, though.
It does sound like dick per square inch.
Well, and DP's a thing, too.
Well, you do have more dick per square inch when you've lost that weight.
Yes. Yes, actually, more square inches of penis.
Okay, we're back.
So, guys, really, it matters. And it's not like I hate to admit it or anything. I mean, I feel better in a lot of different ways. But listen, that really is the only true way to enlarge your penis relative to the rest of your body.
Yeah, don't do that surgery thing where they just cut the tendon so it comes out further.
Nope.
But it's just floppy then.
Nope, don't.
Did any of you actually see it's like some movie, like a documentary on Netflix? I think it's called Unhung Hero.
No.
No.
I forget the name of it. Okay, I'm like 90, maybe 3% sure. It's called Unhung Hero.
It's very specific odds.
I like to be specific when I can. So basically, this guy made a movie because he proposed to his girlfriend, and she said no because his dick wasn't big enough.
Well, he is the luckiest man in the world because who needs that shit?
Well, yes. However, before he realized that, he spent an hour and a half worth of a movie traveling the world, trying out different methods to make his dick bigger, and finding out one by one that they all don't work. And there's this one scene where he's in some country. I don't even know which one. Watch the fucking movie. Where he's in this like little hotel room and somebody's like pulling back a needle and is about to like, inject him with some shit. And he was finally like, what the fuck am I doing? No, never mind. Can't do it. Absolutely not. But this whole thing is about his journey of reconciling his feelings about himself and not having them affected by this. Like, really, I mean, that's super traumatic. Like, you're asking someone to spend their life with you and she's like, no, your dick's too small. But I mean, really, fuck her. But this whole thing's making me think about that. And Coop, your reaction is honestly the best one to have. Like, instead of feeling inadequate in yourself, it's really like, no, that's great information to have about you. Fuck you. So nobody saw that movie but me. So that's cool.
But I want to. So
Yeah,
I want you to figure out what it is so we can all watch it.
Okay.
Holy crap.
You don't have to figure it out right now. I'm just saying in general.
Well, it's going to bother me if I don't.
Okay. You work on
mainly
that.
because, okay, I was right. It is called Unhung Hero. And it wasn't just about the information. I just needed to know that I was right.
No, I get that. As the beginning of our last episode proved.
Yes. Yes, it did.
We covered the hell out of genitals, which is really, really funny because we like to have our genitals out.
Yeah, we prefer
exactly.
them.
I like my genitals swinging to and fro. But since
hey Dylan, we're going to do that.
This.
Yeah, I mean, not like you and me specifically, but
well, we are now.
In a month and a half, our genitals can be swinging freely in beautiful Cancun, Mexico.
Yeah, they will be.
Oh, yes.
Just pointing that out. Gins can also, but it won't swing so much.
True.
But it can feel the beautiful breeze upon its lovely flower.
Thank you.
Instead of swinging to and fro, I think I would just like to bounce her up and down. And I'm okay with that motion as a direct analog to the swinging to and fro.
I understand.
Yeah. But hey, let's close out by reading a review.
Hey, good call, Dylan.
Yeah. So this review is entitled Wieners and Gonads, and it's by Heather3740 from iTunes. So she writes, generally informative while genuinely hilarious. These goofballs put a fun twist on things while discussing some of the harder aspects of non-monogamy, such as the concerns of coming out to others or the inevitable hiccups in relationships. Probably one of the best podcasts I've listened to since the olden days of sexist fun. Oh, 5 out of 5. Wood boner again. Yeah,
there.
For somebody to say since the olden days of sexist fun is honestly one of the best compliments I think we've ever gotten. Yes. And now I remember that it's not with us anymore. But it feels okay.
It can live in your heart forever, Dylan.
It can. I will be the owner of a sexist fun-filled heart. So.
Well, that was awesome.
That was awesome.
I love it when people write reviews.
We would love if you'd write reviews on iTunes. Obviously, we would love that because
or Stitcher.
What?
Or Stitcher.
Or Stitcher, yes. And if you want to put your name in the review, or if you have a website that you work on or a blog, and you're willing to review us and put your name in your blog, we're happy to say that on the air. So, little extra enticement for you to write us reviews. And as you saw a few weeks ago, just because the review is negative does not mean we won't read it.
Also, fuck you, Cooper. ChristianMingle.com.
So you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/theswingset. Follow us on Twitter at Cooper S. Beckett, at Ginger and the Prof, at Dylan the Thomas, and at That Katie Mack. Check out this podcast, daily blogs, articles, and toy reviews on our website at lifeontheswingset.com and on our site's Twitter feed at ontheswingset. Email us at contact@lifeontheswingset.com. Give us a call, leave us a voicemail, send us a text at 573-55-SWING. That's 573-557-9464. When you buy your next batch of condoms, because you're buying in bulk, why not buy that bulk over at swingsetcondoms.com? It supports this podcast and gets you awesome condoms from the Lucky Bloke. And we have different size sampler packs.
And if you get a colored one, it'll make your penis look very attractive. Hey, sometimes colored condoms do it, you know?
You can support us by buying a shirt or leaving us a tip at lifeontheswingset.com/support.
I assume those are in
Sometimes
colors too.
colored condoms do it. Dylan Thomas. And you can find our other great podcasts like the Gentle Pervert Social Club, the Kinky Geeks, Eat the Rudecast, a damn good podcast about Twin Peaks, Sex Ed a Go-Go, and the Tell Me Something Good podcast at swingset.fm or on our free Android app. And finally, you can buy my book, My Life on the Swing Set, Adventures in Swinging and Polyamory, as an ebook, paperback, or audiobook at mylifeontheswingset.com. Thanks for swinging by.
Have a sexy business? Love the swing set? Let's put these two great things together. The Swing Set Network has advertising and sponsorship packages available for our websites and podcasts. Email advertising at lifeontheswingset.com for more information. Thanks.
So I was just mentioning, like, I knew the She Vibe cover was going to be pretty cool, but
Yeah.
That's
I gotta
amazing.
admit, yeah, it's totally us. Like, it is totally fucking us. And Cooper apparently ignored my Shia LaBeouf joke, which I'm
sorry I missed
Slightly
everything you guys
annoyed
were
by.
saying. I'm totally behind now, and you didn't even know it.
You did not miss as much as you might think.
yeah, I was basically doing it while I was at the bowling alley with
Let's
my
see.
son. So
Yeah, Dylan almost told a labiaplasty joke and then didn't,
Oh, sure.
like you do. And now you're here.
Yay. Okay.
yeah, and I tweeted publicly, "Hey Cooper, that's you playing the role of Mutt Williams, aka Shia LaBeouf," and
Okay.
respond,
Okay,
which
sure.
I really wanted to make him angry. And he didn't.
I think it's
didn't.
awesome. Have you seen his motivational speech? The
Yes.
Shia LaBeouf. Oh my gosh, it's like I see it in my dreams. Tonight, I'm finishing up the intro here. Tonight on the Swing Set, we're talking about how.
Okay, have we figured Ginger out?
Yes.
Yep.
Excellent.
Well,
I don't know. I'm a cipher. You'll never figure me out. But other than that, we did unplug and replug. It was just like the cable guy.
Yeah.
Ma'am, I
Have
need
you
you to
tried
go.
turning it off and on?
I need you to turn it off, count to 20, and turn it back on. Make sure you wait and count to 20. Okay. I'm almost done with the intro.
Make sure you wait and count to 20. Is that also a way to delay premature orgasm?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Take a deep breath, count to 20. Okay, keep fucking.
Hey, Cooper, are you saying Cooper Beckett or are you just saying Cooper?
I go back and forth. I try to do
Okay.
Cooper Beckett on here because I just do Cooper on the other one.
Can you give us a I'm Cooper? Thanks for asking.
So I did that. You can always change it.
Thank you so much, Katie. I love you.
I don't know what that was about.
Only if he wears the Big Gay Al outfit.
Yes.
Only the button down and the scarf and the hair. Oh my God, please,
Oh,
Cooper, for my
body
birthday.
hair.
I need it. You're going to be gone for my birthday because you're not coming to Catalyst. I need
Katie,
this.
We know what his Halloween costume has got to be Big Gay Al.
Yes.
Oh, it would. Cooper, I know I have told you that I've loved you before, but I just want you to know, if you did Big Gay Al for Katie and me...
This is a South Park thing, right?
It is
Yes.
a South Park.
Okay, I'm probably not going to do it.
But it's the good seasons of South Park.
No, I have never laughed at a single thing that has ever been on South Park.
Challenge accepted. I think I'm going to...
I have laughed at people telling me things that are on South Park, but when I actually watch the episode, it's horrible.
Okay.
Conceptually, it's funny. I cannot stand those children. I can't stand their voices. I can't stand their cadence.
Okay.
I have no interest. Sorry.
Okay, but Big Gay Al, though.
No. Sorry.
He's not the child.
Nope.
All right, so it's cool. I get it. I know it's a trigger for you.
Hate it so much.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay. But we have a wonderful episode to record here.
I agree.
We do.
We should start.
So, Coop, read the intro just to make sure I didn't
You
inadvertently
didn't rhyme. You
No,
didn't
he's
throw
gotta do it live.
rhyme
Do it
you
live,
into
do
a
it live.
dark
Do it live.
alley.
Do it live.
I trust you, Jen. I'm going to do it live.
Okay.
All right, everybody hit record.
I'm really hoping that Dylan did not change
I am
it.
now recording.
Oh, hell. All right.
I did not stick a Cooper's Beckett or a Stormtrooper or Koopa Troopa in there. So you're
Okay,
safe.
good.
Shoot. What did I just do?
Your introduction is
Stop.
safe with me. All right, so I'm recording. Katie?
No, I just...
Yeah, I'm recording too. We're good.
Cool.
No, I don't want to save the
So
changes
I don't know if
made.
you've listened to the episode that I released all of today, Katie, but if you do...
It's silly.
Yeah, it's silly, and it's one of the silliest ones we've done since the bedcast, and
It is
that's saying
really
something.
silly.
That is
I'm
saying
recording.
something.
Everything looks good.
And-
Sorry, just testing
Honestly,
my
we
mic.
don't actually
Test,
start
test,
the show
test.
for like 5 minutes.
Well, actually, Cooper, you remember the episode number 221 was... No, sorry, 220 was the hour and a half one where I had like 20 minutes of outtakes on it.
Yeah.
That was insanely silly. This last one was insanely silly. So maybe we can be like super serious on this one.
I don't want to do a super serious show, so I am going to start angry.
I don't want to. All right, I'm cool with that.
So,
Whoa.
what?
Whoa.
I have bugs flying into my screen. I live in the wilderness, remember? So
Ah, yes.
if I close that, okay, good.
Wilderness of Boston.
Boston, exactly.
Wicked,
All right, so
it's wicked buggy.
it's wicked buggy. Yeah.
Aw.
Make it there from here. I fake that accent. It's not where I'm originally from. So,
God, I just
you-
want a lobster
You're
roll when you
You're
do
from
that.
the Midwest.
That accent.
yes. You do want to eat a lobster roll. Absolutely.
As soon as I hear that, I'm like, lobster roll? Chowder?
Chowder!
Chowder?
Chowder!
All right. So
So are we all good? Have we gotten the boss?
If you're gonna take your life into your own hands by reading the intro without
I am.
yes,
first
I am
proofing
going to do
it, then
Let's
then
let's
do it and
yeah,
do
let's
it
do it.
fortune favors the bold
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Quoting Benjamin
Straight up
Sisko. I like
does.
it.
and the senseless.
Shut up. Benjamin Sisko. Were you talking to our fans' penises
Yes.
there?
No,
Okay.
Dylan,
Okay, just want to make
Thanks
sure.
for swinging, penises.
Dylan, personally, I'm holding out for condoms that have glitter in them.
in them.
Or alternatively,
I feel
would
like that
to,
would
to
add
make them.
unnecessary roughage to condoms.
No. Somehow, if there were, just indulge my magical thinking for a moment.
Okay.
If you had some way to have glitter inside the condom itself in a way that didn't provide any friction and didn't
Oh, okay.
rub off on
Yeah.
you, if you could somehow do that, I'm holding out for that. Or conversely, I'd like to make them and market them as sparkle cocks.
Yes.
Ooh.
I would be totally down with that. I will tell you a negative condom experience. I mean, because creative condoms, I'm all for. But years and years and years ago, we had a lover who brought us back glow-in-the-dark condoms from Japan, which in theory sounds hilarious, right? Or, apparently Prof never got a chance to try one before we put them out on the table at a party. And then we had a friend who used one who said that his cock felt like it was pulsing for 2 2 days after he wore it. So I was very concerned. I didn't have this resource called Life on the Swing Set where I could go to, Lucky Bloke and get safe condoms. I have no idea what was on this glow-in-the-dark Japanese condom that made my lovely friend's cock seem like it pulsed and burn a little bit, as he said, for a couple of days after he used the glow-in-the-dark condom. So,
Wow.
our sparkle needs to be hypoallergenic.
Yes, we need a good
Totally.
company to produce this, Katie.
Yikes.
Okay, but also, like, if we had different color glow-in-the-dark condoms, could we sponsor, like, lightsaber fights?
Oh, yes.
Like, actual cockfighting?
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
I like that. Yeah, I'm on board, Katie.
you could do that, like, wrestling announcing. Like, wearing the red condom.
This
coming in
Sunday.
at 8.5 inches.
Wow. Okay, I want to
Yes.
Okay.
hold on.
All right.
Don't stop anything.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
Do you need to record
everyone else
another
still recording?
outro?
Yes, I'm going to record an entire end of show 223 and beginning of show 224 now.
Got it. So we need to do our intro again.
Yes.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay, just let me know.
I'm still recording, so it'll all be here.
Good.
Dylan, do you still want me to put this in Skype, or do you want me to, like, Dropbox this to you? What do you want?
We can share the Dropbox folder with you if you want, if Dropbox is easier. Yeah.
Can we be Dropbox bounded or bonded?
Yeah. You can put your stuff in my box.
Well then.
That's creative. I'd like to watch that if I'm
Yeah.
okay with that.
If you're okay with
If
that,
you're okay with that, I'm okay with that.
only you know, Jen.
I don't know. Maybe
I'd like to watch
maybe
that
was
if
my
I'm okay
own
with that.
confliction where I was like, do I? I don't know. Maybe I yeah.
I like to think, Jen, it was, do I? Well, what if they want privacy? I don't know. I don't want to encroach.
There you go.
Okay, so you're recording again. Okay.
I'm hitting record, not on the Skype stream, but on my stream. So can everybody hit record?
Are
still recording.
Wait, hold on.
None of us
Oh,
stopped.
you're still. Oh, I'm the idiot. that stopped. Okay.
Yeah.
You were
So
very excited
then-
about stopping.
I was really excited. So go ahead.
Okay.
This is Kendra Holliday of TheBeautifulKind.com, and you're listening to a Swing Set podcast at swingset.fm.